Hey guys, good night, morning, afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. I greet you with the love of God. All right. So we're gonna get into this word, y'all, and I'm going to be talking about this topic has been on my heart lately is being friends with your spouse before you guys even get married. Right. So the reason that friendship is important is because you're taking your time truly getting to know this person, right? And you're allowing God to show you not just the good sides of them, right? But allowing God to show you this person. I'm not talking about, testing it out before you guys get married, right? Because you're going to say, I do to this person, whether you knew everything about them. And it's impossible to know a person wholeheartedly because people change. You guys are going to go through things throughout life, and you guys are going to change, right? Your spouse is not going to always be the same. Your spouse is going to get older. You're going to get older, right? You guys are going to have kids, and not just talking about physical changes, but emotional changes. There might be a time where one of you guys may lose a parent, or one of you guys may go through a loss, or maybe you guys may go through a season of warfare where maybe your spouse is being attacked with anxiety or depression, or maybe you're going through a season where you're being attacked by those particular things, or your marriage is going under warfare, or whatever it is, right? You building that friendship is going to set the foundation for that love just past romantic love, right? Because it's easy to love a person. It's easy to stay with a person when you're in the honeymoon phase, right? Versus being with that person when everything is not so pretty, when that person probably might have just said something that hurt your feelings, and now you got an attitude and you want him to sleep on the couch, right? Not that you shouldn't make your spouse sleep on the couch. I am that person. Y'all can get mad all you want. I am that person. Don't do that. That's not, no. You leaving room for the devil to just have his way. No, right? So building that friendship is also important, because you're building a deeper connection outside of sex, right? Because when you and your spouse, start courting or dating, or, just building that friendship, you guys are not going to be having sex, right? So you guys are going to have to find other ways to be intimate, right? Sex should be the the cherry on top. It shouldn't be the main course meal, right? Intimacy, it goes far beyond just sex. And another reason is because when you guys build that friendship, you're trusting God. You're trusting that God will bring the full promise, which is the promise of walking into a marriage, right? With this person, with your person. You don't need to have sex with this person. And the reason I say that is because a lot of times, in past relationships, maybe you guys felt the need to jump into have sex early, right? This is a God thing. The connection is going to be God orchestrating it. That's another reason. That's how you know if it's God or not. If you have to, in order to build a connection with this person, if you have to have sex with them in order to keep a person, in order to build a connection with the person, or to maintain a connection, that's not God. I mean, sex outside of marriage, right? I'm not talking about people that are married. That's your spouse. Drop it like it's hot, girl. Do what you gotta do. But I'm talking about people who, if you're not married and you're gonna be building that friendship with your spouse, right? When God is stirring something, you're not gonna have to compromise in a way, compromise your faith, right? You're not gonna have to compromise your values and your morals, what you believe in. And you both are going to be healed, and you're not going to have to rush into a sexual transaction to build a connection, right? Because when you rush into that sexual transaction, you're basically just kind of building that bond based off of just sex alone. Those bonds don't last long, because when that person begins to heal, when you begin to heal, right, and God begins to show you, things about yourself, things about that person, right, you begin to realize that sex is just not enough. You begin to realize that sex is just not enough to maintain a relationship, because it goes far beyond a good time and some sheets. it goes far beyond, you know, your words, right? Because it's easy to cling to words when that person is busting your back in. I mean, call it what it is, right? We don't need to rush into sexual transactions or things outside of a friendship just because out of fear. Like no, that's God is not giving us a spirit of fear. So we can trust that if we wait on the Lord and allow him to move things at his pace. Right now, granted, like I said before, I said there are gonna be marriages that just happen like boom. Like God even gave me dreams about my particular marriage. Like, you know, he showed me prophecies about my marriage, right? And how those feelings will grow fast and we will, you know, it'll grow. But I'm also not rushing God. Like, I'm leaving myself open for however God decides to do it, whether that's friendship first and then it goes into something more, or if it's, you know, we both know what's up, we don't want to play around, and we, you know, and we move into what we know. Like, I'm okay with both. Like, I don't feel the need to rush into anything, because when it's God, I don't have to do that. When it's God, I don't have to manipulate nothing. When it's God, I don't have to hurry up and have sex with this person in order to continue to build a connection. Like, no, when it's God, I can trust that we can move at our pace. We can take our time with this love, take our time with this friendship, take our time and really learn each other, and really get to know each other. You know, I don't want I don't want Christmas to come around and I don't know this person enough to even know what to buy them as a gift, or not know this person enough, you know, to know like when they're crying, or when they need their, or, you know, when we just got a heated argument, do they need time to process things, or are they the type to talk about it up front, or, you know, or do I feel comfortable telling this person, hey, you know, I know that we want to wait to marriage and I'm struggling in the area of lust. Can you pray with me? Like, or hey, like I lust has been attacking my mind. Have you been going through the same thing? Can we pray together? Can we fast together? Can you help me deal with this demon? Because this is something, right? So I'm not talking about that's necessarily what's going on now, but I'm just saying, like, having that friendship is going to make it a lot easier to communicate with this person your needs, and not only just your needs, but you want them to be comfortable communicating their needs, right? Because what if he comes to you and say, man, like, I don't know if I can wait any longer. You're gonna have to have that friendship enough to know, like, hey, I'm going to tell you no, we're not doing this, right? As much as, you know, you want to say yeah, you're like, no, like, we're not doing this. Or even if you're communicating your boundaries, like, hey, like, we can't be alone together, unsupervised. Like, we gonna need to go public places, or if I do come over, my little sister gotta come with me, or, you know, or if you do, like, somebody has to be there and doors cannot be shut. There's gonna be, because the thing is, when you build that friendship, that person is going to respect that. That's how you know it's a good friendship too. When you can tell that person no, or you can tell that person something about yourself. And it's because the thing is, these marriages are being orchestrated by God. So you're not going to scare your partner away by setting your boundaries. You're not going to scare your partner's not going to be scared away by you guys taking things slow, right? When it's a God thing, you can literally rest in the Lord, knowing that in his perfect timing, everything will happen in his time. Everything will happen in his perfect timing, right? Because, and two, I don't want my partner feeling pressured to move into something. I want us both to be on one accord. Like, I want us both to be like, we're ready for this relationship, or I want us both to be like, okay, we're ready to get married. I want us both to be on one accord. And I'm talking about playing games type stuff, right? No, that's not, your partner is not going to be like that. Like, God is working on the both of you. So when he brings you guys together, y'all not going to be on that. Y'all going to be ready to love each other. Not perfect, but y'all going to be ready to enter into the marriage that God has for you when the time comes. But building that friendship, you know, like, even if you know, like, there's going to be times, there's gonna be times where you guys are gonna go through things, and you're gonna be like, you know what, let's do this. So let's just go hang out. Or even if you be like, you know, lately I haven't been, you know, feeling the butterflies like I can normally do, like, you know, or whatever it is. Just having that friendship makes communication a lot easier. Like when I understood, when I got the revelation that I was a friend of God, yeah, when I got the revelation that God was my friend, yeah, when God was delivering me, like years ago, like when my first when I was my first love, and we broke up, and God was telling me to be celibate, I didn't know what that was. I was like, God, you want me to what? Abstain? What is that? Man, I used to cry, y'all. That's how bad the lustful thoughts, because God was taking me through a season of deliverance to where I didn't date for, like, I didn't talk to somebody. No, I was giving out my numbers. I deleted all my little boos. You know, I mean, I wasn't having sex, but you know when you bored and you just want a male voice in your ear at night. I got rid of all of them because God was like, delete all them numbers. He said, it's gonna be me and you. And he told me I had to abstain, right? Now, this come from a person I just, you know, experienced sex, right, with my first love, right? He was my first. So it's like, I was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna just find, you know, whatever, right? And then God is like, no, I told you not to do that in the first place. Right? And I remember going through that season of when God was taking me through the deliverance of lust, and because I had the revelation that God was my friend, y'all, like the thoughts were so bad, y'all, to where I was just like, God, I was crying. I was like, God, I don't even want these thoughts. Like, I get emotional now because, y'all, I wish that season was so hard for me, because I bit into that forbidden fruit, right? And so when you bite that forbidden fruit, you now have the knowledge of what that fruit tastes like, right? So I knew what it tastes like. And it was so bad, y'all. The thoughts were like, it was so hard. I remember crying, telling God, like, Lord, I just want to please you, but these thoughts, I don't even know what's happening anymore, God. Like, I just need your help, God. I just need you to help me, Lord. Just help me, God. And I just remember praying to him, saying, God, like, I need you right now, God. And I just remember God comforting me, saying that, you know, even like leading me to videos to watch for deliverance and stuff like that. And I remember just being so free, like having that honest relationship with God. Like, me and God, we have an honest relationship. Like, I can always tell when me and God need some time, because when I'm putting on, like, when I feel like I can't say something to God, right? Now, there's some things, of course, like, you know, out of reverence for him, you won't say. But when God is your friend, like, when your spouse is your friend, when you have a friend and a person that you trust, and a person that you can trust with your heart, like, there's not going to be anything that you're going to be afraid to tell them, right? You're going to feel safe. And you're going to feel like, hey, I can be my wholehearted self and don't have to worry about rejection, right? That's another good thing about friendship. Is friendship creates that respect for one another, right? That friendship creates that respect for each other. Because when you respect each other, you're gonna respect not only each other's boundaries, but you're gonna respect who they are as a person. So you're gonna learn, okay, me acting this way may hurt him, or me acting this way may hurt her. And out of respect for them, or even when you guys are in a relationship, out of respect for my person, no, I'm not gonna be on the phone after a certain time with another male, right? Because what does that look like, right? Or out of respect for my person, no, you can't have my number. No, I can't have friends. You know, you got them dudes. You can't have friends. No, sir. Sorry, no new friends. No new friends. Sorry. No, I can't. You right. I'm this, I'm that. Yep, you were. Yeah. Right? Just shitting it down. But it also builds a respect. A respect for one another. And your spouse is going to respect your boundaries. Like, that's something that... Sorry, I'm looking at that cat. Yeah. Yeah. So, building that friendship is important. Like, you don't have to... Don't let fear make you... Don't let fear or worry, oh, I have to hurry up and enter into this with them. What if they find somebody else? Like, no, like, God knows what he's doing. God knows what he's doing. You can trust God with your heart. And because you are a friend of God, you can trust that God wants what's best for you. Knowing that you're a friend of God releases the revelation that his thoughts towards me, in Jeremiah 29:11, his thoughts towards me are not to harm me. And yes, in Bible context, it was talking about Jeremiah, right? He was talking, it was in context, it was for Jeremiah, right? I believe. Or was it for the Israelites? I don't remember. I have to go back and read that. But you can trust, if God had this mindset towards Jeremiah, had this mindset towards the Israelites, then, and I'm his child. I'm his child now. There's no longer being afar from God, right? Because we have Jesus that brought us close and toward the veil. So now I'm officially a friend and a child of God. Imagine if he felt that way about people that he didn't even send his son for just yet. And now I'm after his son and I'm his child and I'm a friend. Imagine how he feels for me. Imagine what his thoughts are for me. Imagine that, right? I remember, y'all, like, I would often... This car pulled up on me. I was trying to see what he was doing. He parking. I remember, y'all, feeling like I had to rush, like, in relationships, right? I had a fear that, oh, they may go or they may leave, abandonment issues, right? And after the Lord healed me, I'm just like, and I looked at, like, a lot of the relationships and the patterns that I had when I was going through my season of healing. I was just like, God, like, I really can promise, for the simple fact that I didn't want them to leave, or, I didn't want them to go out of my fear of abandonment, out of my fear of what ifs, But when it's really your person and it's a God thing, you don't have to fear anything because it's God guaranteed. It's God guaranteed. God wants this for you. As long as you went through the process and you let him get all the things that absolutely cannot go into the next season, and you steward well over your person's feelings, over his heart or her heart, however, I don't know if males listen to this, but if y'all are, I got y'all. If you're being a good steward over them and their hearts, then it's going to go according to plan. And there's going to be moments where you guys might agree to disagree, right? Like, you're not going to always agree on everything with your spouse, right? You guys are going to be on one accord, but you're not going to always agree on everything. And having that love and that friendship and that respect for that person is going to be like, hey, like, we may not agree on this, but I love you anyway. We're not going to allow this to become a big thing, right? We're gonna see that, we're gonna fight not each other. We'll find a solution to the problem, but we may not agree on everything. Like, I know me and my spouse, we're different. We're very similar, but we're very different at the same time, if that makes sense. And that's okay. I welcome that. It's actually one of the things that made me attracted to him even more, was that in areas where I struggled, he's really good at. Or, and vice versa. I feel like, we'll complement each other. We're going to complement each other, right? And when you build a friendship with this person, it makes even sex more easier. Because some of you guys, maybe, oh my, got my thing in it. I gotta charge my phone. Even with sex, guys, it's gonna make it a lot easier, you know. But we won't get into that because I don't want any of y'all minds to go there. we gonna leave that one alone. Maybe we'll talk about that more after I'm married. I mean, we'll talk about that as well, but we gonna put limits on how much we share about that. Just because, you know, we want to keep it cute, keep it clean, you know. We'll talk about it as God leads, but I don't feel the need to go into that. But yeah, so you can trust God. You can trust God with your partner. You can trust that God is not going to give you a man that's going to intentionally try to hurt you. He's not going to intentionally try to hurt you. The man that God is sending, he's not going to be perfect, and sometimes you guys might hurt each other's feelings, right? But it all comes down to having that love, that respect, and that friendship, and say, hey, you know, you hurt me when you said this and this, and I know you probably, or maybe you didn't mean it that way, or maybe you did, but we need to talk about this. And hey, this can't be a continuous thing, right? Because we have to have that love and respect for one another. And not only do I want to be a good steward over your heart, but you need to be a good steward over mine. And okay, that I said something that hurt you, okay, I'm sorry, you know, or okay, I'll take note of that to make sure that, you know, of course apologize, but you know, okay, I'll take note of what I did so that so this doesn't happen again. So this doesn't happen over and over again, right? Because we don't want to repeat the same cycles of hurting each other. Like, no, like, we're gonna come up from this. But that's all for now, guys. I need to get in the house and take a shower because I am sweaty. So love you guys. Bye. That cat, where that cat always come out of nowhere? The cat is right there. Who cat is that, bro? That cat is, is that a cat? I don't know what that is. It looks like a cat, but it's built weird. Let me turn this car on today. Turn my lights on so that cat wouldn't go in my car. Because, you know, sometimes you have to be careful because cats like to go in like your little thing. And you can like cut them up real bad. You can injure them if they go in your car. So I always like trying to turn my car on. But not turn it on, but like turn the light on. So my car know like, so they know like, hey, this car finna turn on. Be kind to animals. Be kind to the animals. Shark bait. Ooh, why did Nemo? Girl, let me turn this video off, y'all. My bad, y'all.